Krause interview.
My name's Aaron Krause. I'm 39 years old and I live in Houtsdale, Pennsylvania.
What type of racing do you do?
We basically do woods racing. We do some drag racing, but basically we stick to the woods.
Who's we?
There's me, Rylan, and Isaiah, my sons, my two other boys.
All right. What age did you start riding?
I started probably when I was about 3 years old. My dad had an old IT 465 motorcycle, and I'd break out of the house and run out here when he was out here, and I'd say, "Dad, take me for a ride on the muffler motorcycle." And sure enough, he'd fire it up and take me for a ride. I was hooked from there.
Who is your favorite pro rider?
My favorite pro rider, I would have to say my favorite pro rider growing up was John Talley. John lived probably about 2 miles from here, and I spent most of my nights after school with a buddy of mine, Josh Lewis, over at his house. That was Josh was John's cousin, so I kind of slid my way in, ended up working my way in over there, and spent a lot of my time as a kid over there. Got a lot of inspiration from John.
And he's pro motocross.
Pro motocross. He actually just won the Legends race, the Briar Cliff MX race out in Ohio. So.
How did you get into racing?
How did I get into racing? Well, when I was a kid, my dad and I would go out in the woods and we would race each other, and it was our own little style of GNCC. And I always tried to convince him to let me race, and he's always, I think it was more he didn't want me to get hurt, but he would tell me, "Oh son, we don't have the money for that." So when I was old enough to pay for myself to race, I ventured out and I went to an AWRCS race. The same friend I hung out with at John Natale's, Josh Lewis, decided that he would buddy race with me, and I thought, well, he's fast, I'm slow, so maybe we can end up in the middle somewhere, and we ended up taking a second place that race, and I was hooked from there. I'm addicted, I can't stop doing it.
No doubt. What series and what class do you race in right now?
The series is AWRCS that we're running now, and I'm running the utility class, and my son Rylan is also in the utility class, and my youngest son Isaiah, he's racing 300C in the youth division of the AWRCS.
What type of quad do you race?
I have a Can-Am Renegade 1000. It's a 2018, probably my most favorite quad I've ever had. It's uncomparable to any other one.
Easy to ride in the woods?
Yeah, they're not too bad. If you're a sport quad guy, it's hard to jump on one because you feel like you're on a big couch. But once you get on one, you get used to it. You can't go back to a sport quad. It's too much fun.
What are some of your achievements at the racing series?
Some of my achievements that I've done. Back in 2021, I decided to jump up and get serious about it and jump to the utility class. Dorito, Dan Schism, was kind of picking on me a little bit, saying, "Bring that four-wheel drive up from the woodsman line to the utility line. I bet you don't pull a hole shot." And I think it was that race I pulled the hole shot, and he was regretting right then and there. He should have just left me back there on the woodsman line because I took the championship that year. And in 2022, we switched bikes to the one I have now. We bought the 18. We was currently on a non-power steering model. We went to power steering, and what a world of difference. It just seemed like it just came easy that year. Just clicking them off one right after another and putting that quad out front. It was a lot of fun.
No doubt. What is your favorite part while you were out there competing?
My favorite part while I'm out there competing, I would say I've always been an individual sport type person. I always liked wrestling. I always liked sport where it was you compete yourself and you didn't have to rely on someone else, because sometimes your team shows up, sometimes they don't. But you yourself, you have no one else to blame whether you lose or win. You win, you did it. You lost, you did it. So it's all on you. But my favorite part about being out there is knowing that But just when you think you ain't got nothing left, you just dig deep and pull that other lap, push hard, you come in and finish the race and tell yourself at the end, like, I'm getting older, but I still got it. I can do this, you know.
How long have you been racing?
Racing competitively since 2016, so 8 years now. This going into this next year will be my 9th season.
That's awesome. Do you still get nervous when you line up on the line?
There's times where I get nervous. When some of them GNCC guys come over, you know, you want to show that just because we run AWRCS, you know, we're not so slow either, but, you know, those guys, they're a whole nother level. We know that, but I get the nerves when Mike Seegers and those guys, Ben Cheswick and them come over, and those guys are fast.
What's it like to see your sons out there racing?
Oh.
The question.
I'd have to say, to see my sons out there racing, that is the biggest thing for me. To know that they're going to carry on and just keep doing what I've loved to do, and that they love the same thing, and the bonds that we've made over the years of doing this that's the big thing for me.
Do you get nervous when you see your boys out there on the starting line?
Yeah. Do I get nervous when I see them out there? Yeah. A lot of the times, we're always last minute getting to the races, so I have to prepare some things for Rylan and I to be able to go out for the adult race. So a lot of times Mom takes Isaiah down, and I don't get to watch his start, but when the times I do get down there to watch his start, and I'm just a bundle of nerves watching him take off. But when Rylan and I take off, I'm more nervous for Rylan for anything, because I know he wants to show Dad he's fast and get out there and run up front with the big guys, but I just get a little nervous for him. But sometimes you gotta just cut the cord and let him go.
Has he passed you out there?
It's funny, has he passed me? That's funny you asked that. Last weekend at the Gobbler, he actually he beat me last weekend. He got a first place there, and the excitement on his face is just, as a dad, makes it all worth it.
That's awesome. I see you sponsor a few riders. How's it feel that you can help out other riders getting to go out and race?
It makes you feel great. To sponsor other riders, how does that make me feel? That there's just to see those kids out there when they get a first place, or they get an overall, or get in the top 3, top 5, and they come back and they show you their plaque, and that's what this sport's about, is helping each other out. I can just tell you there's times that I haven't had $1, didn't know how I was going to make it to the race, and someone just out of nowhere, hey man, I want to sponsor you, I want to send you $150, you know, right at the time you need it. And I just feel that whenever you have that opportunity, you should give back. I feel it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. If you could do it all over again, would you do it differently?
If I could do it all over again, would I do it differently? Yeah, I'd probably do some things differently. I probably would have probably made a few decisions earlier in life. I wouldn't have held off so long. I wish I would have got into it whenever Can-Am was offering factory rides. That would have been something else, to get a factory ride from Can-Am. But those days are long gone now in the ATV industry, so we're at where we are now.
What is your best piece of advice you could tell your sons before the race starts?
The best piece of advice I think that I could give my sons before we race, I tell them every time, no matter what you do, no matter how tired, how thirsty, how worn out you are, don't stop moving. Whether you're going 50 mile an hour or you're going 5, you make that forward momentum and keep moving forward.
What are your goals for next season?
My goals for next season? Well, Trevor Sharp and I are in a race to see who can get our 3rd championship. Both of us have 2. I think him and I are going to battle it out next year, and I'd really like to beat Trevor, like to get that championship next year.
Who would you like to thank that got you to where you are?
Who would I like to thank? Well, this is always one that every time I'm asked, I always forget the people. So this time I want to make sure that I thank the most important person, and that'd be my wife, Aaron Krause. She's been with me this whole ride, just all the absurd decisions, and look what I bought, honey, and she stood right behind me the whole time, and she's been great. Also, I want to thank Dean Rainier at DBD Custom Coatings. That man, he's helped me out by giving me a job at times when I've been jobless. Anything I've needed, he's been there for me. Not only has he been a great sponsor, but just a phenomenal friend. I'd like to thank Matt Fraley over at Fallen Performance. Every season, he's there with something for me, whether it's looking at my truck, helping me out, money, fuel, whatever, diesel additives, anything I need, he's there for me. Want to thank Lou Millard, L&M Action Photography, always with the fire shots and videos, always taking the time for the people that he cares about. And I like the fact that he leans more towards the ATVs, because there's not a lot of people anymore that care about the ATVs. It's all about dirt bikes anymore, which that's all great, but we can't let this sport die off. Another person that I would like to thank is Larry Mills at DP Brakes. Larry's been supporting me for years now. DP Brakes, if you don't got them, you don't know what you're missing. Best brakes on the market. Stop on a dime. If you can stop one of these big things like that, that's something that's impressive, and DP does that. Also want to thank O'Neill for all the gear over the years. Want to thank LS2 Helmets. I want to thank Joyce McClellan for all the discounted VP fuel. It's been great to be able to have fuel at a phone call and just a little short drive away. I'm sure there's many others that I'm forgetting, but there's just so many along the way that's helped. My mom and dad, my grandparents, my boys, Isaiah, my son Isaiah, he wrenches on everything we have, and he just turned 13 the other day. And for being 13, he's a very skilled mechanic.